Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Coffee with Dave on Saturday morning. Man, what a week that we have had this week. So I'm super excited to talk about this week. I also have a special guest waiting in the wings that's going to join me this morning for a little bit. Might have a little bags under his eyes, a little tired, busy man, busy week. We've all been having a great time. I'm out here in the wild wilderness in Denver, Colorado. Today is our last day in Denver. We are on a move day and heading to Utah for some more events. We are traveling this country and we are bringing all the live shows and excitement from all the people that are doing all the great things in our built world to you. So with that said, why don't we bring in our special guest who's going to help entertain? He called me his Snickers this morning. I'm his Snickers, as he says. Anyhow, you guys all know Mark Willie. Let's bring Mark into the show. What's happening, Mr. Willie? Good morning to you. You still jazzing out?
Oh my gosh, I just saw 7 espressos made on the intro and the keyboard was rocking throughout. It was great, Dave.
You got to have your coffee with Dave, brother. You got to have your coffee, right? I see a BS Friday coffee line coming out.
That's a nice mug too. How about that?
Yeah, it's a Hydro Peak, dude. It's kind of cool. Keeps the coffee nice and warm. Nice and warm. So, Mark, I know we kind of said, hey, Mark, why don't you come into the show last minute here? So we've had a hell of a, can I say that word on the show? A heck of a week. A heck of a week, from Solar Decathlon to solar technology. I mean, we've done so much here in Colorado. So why don't we start running down the list, Mr. Mark Willie, and you can just chime in kind of impromptu.
All right. Well, I know Monday you had about 1,700 guests on the show because you were live at the, what was that, at a university, Dave?
We were on campus at University Colorado Boulder. On campus with the students, with the professors. They invited us into their lovely campus, their home, as they would call it. And let me tell you a little story, Mark, about how exciting these young folks get, because we were waiting and it was last minute to get into the actual place where we were the conference room that we were able to use to do our stream. And it came down to 20 minutes before the show. I had nothing set up. I had to mic all these people up, all the things. And as we're waiting, it was at the business department, and Nathaniel looks at the business guy that was holding back, letting us in until he had permission. He goes, "Do you know I'm a decathlete winner?" He goes, "Open the door." So the pride is there, man. It's really cool to watch.
The pride is there, and also the problem solving is there, right? It's one of the skill sets that they learn is to evaluate and come up with solutions.
Yeah, for sure. And, they all put so much work into it. And then from that show, we led into some other shows. But help me go down my list. I have notes, Mark. I'm not as brilliant. I can't keep all that up there, those 52 weeks that you'll be doing on Friday in my head. I started saying, I said, Mark's reposting all these BS Fridays. He's training.
That's exactly right, Dave. I'm always training, and you're always training, right?
I know it.
What can we do better tomorrow?
So, all right, there you have it, everybody. We started off the week with the Solar Decathlon Winners, University of Colorado Boulder and Weber State University, and they were inspiring. And not only that, we had Holly Carr of Department of Energy on, DOE, and I want to thank Holly for helping us celebrate these students. We had Jennifer Scheib, architectural engineering instructor at the University of Colorado Boulder, one of the leaders of this for the University of Colorado Boulder, and Jeremy Farner from Weber State, an associate professor, construction building sciences and Solar Decathlon team advisor. The energy and excitement, Mark, of these students was out the roof. The energy, the building science behind the homes. And when you sit with the students, it's so inspiring, Mark, because, we're old timers in this business. We've been doing it a long time, but to see the new fresh thoughts, the new fresh minds really thinking about how they're going to do this and where it's going, it was super cool. And Gabriella, who is a electrical engineer, was on the show, and she had the best quote. She said, "If I don't do it, who will?" We said, "What's your one thing?" And she said, "If I don't do it, who will?" And this is the attitude that they're taking on at the show. So super cool. What do you think about that quote?
I think what she said and what those students did is contagious, Dave, right? It creates an electric conversation. I just had to say that there, right? It creates an electric conversation among the college students. And, they're impressed because all the other courses, while very dynamic of themselves, they're not creating anything in the physical world that's going to leave a legacy. And these students created a legacy for their university and for their futures.
They did. And it's funny you said that, because during the show, when I was asking everybody to give us their one thing, and I said to Gabriel, I said, electrify us with your thoughts. I love it. All right. So that show led into our Wednesday show, which is all about panelized building systems. We were at manufacturer Simple Homes, who are building to passive house standards in the Painted Prairie community, which is an NAHB Award Winning Community from McStain Neighborhoods, a developer's point of view on offsite construction. We had Jeff Hoffenbeck on. I got to get that word right. He's the CEO in private equity to panelization. Mark, this was pretty cool. So here is your typical panelization manufacturing facility, and just a couple thousand square feet, not fully automated. This is not Jerry from Integra. But what they have done is they used all of the technology up front, the digital twin, digitization, to optimize their speed and process on the production floor. And on the production floor, they're using lasers that are shining down on their tables that show them the exact wall layouts, the exact stud layouts, to make all the team members very efficient on how they go about installing everything. It was super cool. And the way they're going about it, I think it's brilliant, because they're not getting all tied down in the cost of all this robotic equipment. They're doing it the other way.
And the precision is still there. And the nice thing is those layouts that they use for the table assemblies, I think they call them.
Yep.
Those oftentimes can be automated as we move forward, because the process is still the same, just as some of these automated systems can be physically made if there happens to be a short in the chain. So I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. And it was just great to see, because you know what? We have a lot of young startup companies like this in our industry, and they're taking the right approach, in my opinion, and not getting too far in debt, and still being very, very driven on what they're doing. And they're getting ready to be able to put one house a day out the door out of a small manufacturer. That's awesome. That's awesome. And then we also were able to go to the McStain Neighborhoods with Rick Lambert and talk about what they were doing, what the benefits were. And what were some of the learns? So we talked about, this is the first time a developer worked with a panelization company, and we went through, hey, what are some of the ups and downs? What happened here? Was it always roses? Was it not always roses? And it was a great conversation at the Painted Prairie community. And again, a big shout out, because it is NAHB Best in American Living Award. That is cool, man. It takes some effort to get those awards. So love it. Love it. Love it. And then I know, Mark, we threw you off for our Thursday show. We threw you off. Mark yelled at me. He goes, Dave, I thought it was Wednesday. He goes, I don't know what the heck I was thinking. Thought it was Wednesday. Thursday, Mark. It was Thursday, 1:00. Special events Thursday.
You had Ben Hershey on Thursday. How about that, Dave?
We did have Ben Hershey. Talk about a mover and a shaker in this industry, and talk about a guy with a heart of gold, right? Honestly, like every time I talk to him, I just love the conversation, and he always comes at it from a perspective that's intelligent and really means, his mind is really where his heart is. And that's different than your heart being, where your mind is. Like his mind is in his heart, dude. It's amazing.
That's really is. Great compliment, Dave. Because I've worked with Ben. I've known him for a long time, and I've never heard something so smooth. That's really true. And he never misses a beat, right? He's always, while he's 5 steps ahead of most people, he's still laying it out in a very ideal format.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So listen, if you missed that show on Thursday, Forward Solutions acquired Moducore. Jordy Purchinga in the house with Forward Solution ERP software for offsite manufacturing. Ben Hershey chose the Dave Cooper Live platform to share the news and celebrate. You heard it first on our show. This is a first for us, and we are really grateful to Forward Solutions Group, Ben Hershey, Joe Butler, and Jordy for picking our platform because we are getting the word out there. We are in this industry, and we are becoming a trusted source for people to spread news and to get things out there. So really loved having this on the show. We talked about process optimization, labor design, robotics, and now there is a software solution for offsite, right? Who out there other than Moducore has that end-to-end solution? And who out there other than Forward Solutions Group, who now owns Moducore, has the culture and the beliefs and the heart that this team has? Nobody that I know of yet. Nobody, because they really they work with you as a partner. They're not trying to push a bill of goods when they work with people, and that's what's amazing about them. It's how do we optimize you? How do we make you better? How do we make you more efficient? And how do we make you more money? That's what it's all about. Love it.
It's just genius, right? What a culmination. These collaborations are popping up in a lot of back doors, and people are bringing their best to the best, and that's wonderful.
Right. Absolutely. So, all right, Friday. Oh shit, what happened Friday? You have any idea what happened Friday, Mark?
I think we were blessed by having our friend come and deliver. And boy, did he do a mic drop. He delivered the Black Swan.
He did. He really did. You know, when you talk about a storyteller, let me tell you another way. When you talk about an educator that tells a story to educate in a way that a child's mind such as myself can understand it, that's powerful. And I say that because he should. Jennifer wrote, you know, he should take this and make a book of it, a short story book on Passive House. But yeah, 52nd week. That's one full year, buddy. Mark, Willie, and I have been doing this for an entire year together, and it's been a hell of a year, honestly. You know, you put so much effort into this show, and getting the people, and you know, we were so blessed to have you come on and help us do that. And you know, trying to do 6 shows a week and interview people, you know, it's just doing that show alone, and you're doing a bunch of shows. It takes a ton of effort and time to pull it all together. So it doesn't go unnoticed, my friend. So thank you for that.
We have a wonderful audience as a result that gives us the energy every week, Dave.
Yeah, really do. They cheer us on. They come in, and we're picking up new people all the time, right? Portugal in the house this week. Twitch
was blowing up your panel.
Twitch is blowing up. It's starting to happen. We're going to keep going there. I was just, we were lucky enough. We had dinner. We left this out of, what night was this? Earlier yesterday, 2 days ago, we were blessed to be able to go to Eric Holt's house for dinner and meet his family and have dinner. Eric Holt is the professor at University of Denver, very, very big into obviously education, but really big into the built environment and how it's changing. And the students are doing a ton of research there. So a big shout out to Eric and his family. And the reason it reminded me of that, his son, who's in his mid-20s, he goes, "You're on Twitch?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I didn't even know Twitch had these. I thought it was just for gamers." And he goes, "That's awesome." He goes, "I'm going to have to go look at that." He goes, "Are you getting people?" I said, "We are." He goes, "That makes all the sense in the world." So it was kind of cool to get that. You know, he was kind of excited to hear that something else was happening on Twitch other than games.
I mean, you created it to happen, right? Someone had to go there, and these kids are doing Minecraft. So
Right.
To go from Minecraft to panelization is really a natural fit. Like it's their brains are walking that direction, and they just need a place to land.
They do. They really do. I mean, that's where their mind's at. And I think once they see what we're doing and they see that we're using lasers and VR and BIM and digital twins, virtual walkthroughs, it's a match made in heaven. We just got to get them. We just got to get their attention. Say, "Hey, we're here. We're here. Knock, knock."
When is Dave Cooper Live going to come out with Digital Twin, the gaming conqueror?
I know, right? You know, it's funny. I should just take pictures of my twins. I have twins. I have the real twins, and now I need digital twins.
I'm
But
sure that they already have their own TikTok account, Dave.
yeah, they do, and my one daughter has Dahlia Tries, where she's just trying things, whatever we give her. Her first episode was gator jerky. It
Oh, okay.
was
All
actually
right.
really good.
Tastes like chicken.
Yeah, that's what they say. All right, so 52 weeks of BS Friday, everybody. We were live on LinkedIn, on location at Alpin High Performance Products, hosting Zach Semke, Passive House Accelerator, with special intro from Michael Ingui, Baxi Ingui Architects, by the way, who decided to hang out with us for 99% of the entire show, which is a true honor to have that happen. He is an industry leader in design, passive house renovations, new construction in New York City. So thank you for tuning in and staying with us. We really appreciate you, Zach. We really appreciate you, Michael. And a big thank you to Brad Craig and Todd Collins, and of course, Etienne Gubler. Etienne, CEO, SIGA North America, for making some of the introductions that we had while we're here in Denver, Colorado. So big shout out. We can't do it without the collaboration of all of our friends with a PH. And so we talked about driving down the cost of technology with innovation, learning by doing, and why we need to harness the power of solar energy and the value of doing so. Why? Tune in. Check out our shows, right, Mark?
First of all, you have to tune in because of the mic drop. The first portion, right? It was a 3-part presentation. The first portion was one of the best mic drops I've ever seen. If we were at a conference, the room would have been silent.
Yeah,
it was that well done.
Wish I had a lighter.
The other ones had a lot of the data and the charts, so those just kind of get in there for a minute.
Yeah,
and then he wrapped it up so well and so complimentary, Dave, to the efforts you've shown over the last year, and that acknowledgement was a nice way of redirecting out of the conversation. He was very smooth, very smooth.
He was very smooth. And we had a surprise visitor in the box. You know who it was? It was Bobby from B Marco. Somehow he ended up on the group text and got the link to the show on LinkedIn. You know, I
saw it. It was the event page now creates a chat page, right? Automatically. Yeah. And some of the audience members, you know, they converse and they chit chat there ahead of time, but we put the backstage link in there for each other, right? And then he got in, and it sounded like he enjoyed the show, so that's wonderful.
Yeah, he did. And I sent him a private message because I kicked him out. I was like, I don't know who the heck is this. During live on the show, I didn't have time to research who it was. Anyhow, so you're listening, Bobby. Thank you,
Dave. Right, and then I asked Michael, and then it was like we all get together, we try to figure it out.
Well, that's all it is. That's all it is. Hey, listen, if it's live, it will go wrong, and it will, and we just go with it, and we have fun with it. All right, let's, before we get into what's coming up, Mark, we're going to get through a couple hellos real quick. We got Ashley. What's happening, Ashley? Welcome from Winnetka, Illinois, here to listen. Coffee with Dave. Always good to see you, Ashley. I hope all is well. We got Damian Stapleton as well. Greetings from Ireland. Love the jazz. I know Mark was jamming out back there with the jazz. I got this like Munsters look going on right there with my head. I just noticed that. Oh, all the way to Spain with Pedro. Hey, Pedro. Hello from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. One more coffee with the mastermind, Dave Cooper.
I wonder if it's related to Prudence. They spell their name the same.
Oh, you know what? I never thought about that.
Yeah. Pedro and Prudence Ferreira. How about that?
Yeah, I love it. All right. Jennifer says BS Friday has officially taken over every day of the week. Good morning, Mr. Willie. I love
Jennifer, thank goodness that's not true.
Every day. Could you imagine? We could do this every day.
I don't think we'd be smiling at each other, Dave. We'd be holding our heads up like, come on. Yeah. Why is every day Friday? It's like Groundhog Day.
It is. You know, it is, man. You know, it's funny. This show, Coffee with Dave, Mark, it's one of my personal favorite shows because it's just a chance to sit here and BS. There's no pressure of guests and mics and everything work. If it fails, it fails. If I'm 5 minutes late, I'm 5 minutes late. But it's fun just to chill out and chat with people, and just kind of say what's in your heart and mind. All right. Greg Ugaldi in the house from Twitch. Dave, how did you land Mark on Saturday? A great week, guys. Well, it was pretty simple. I sent him a message. I said, I'm going live in a few minutes if you want to hop in and celebrate a little bit with us. So, yeah.
His people call my people, right? We talk via the satellites, Greg.
That's right. That's it. My dog dials your cat. I got it. So Greg's going to be on the show on Monday the 17th. We're going to have an update. You know what? Greg's on a show right before a real big show out in Idaho. We'll get to that next. You know where I'm going. I love it.
I wish I did. I'm stalling. So
Idaho.
I'll let the suspense build.
It's not a potato manufacturing facility either.
Oh, come on.
Henry Mickelberg. Either this is an episode from February or you're no longer in Florida. Yeah, I haven't been in Florida all week, Henry. We're in Denver, Colorado. Colorado.
That was your shortest comments ever, by the way.
Yeah, it is one of his shortest comments. And I can tell you, we'll be out of this state by probably noon today. I'll be in Utah. We're going to go to, I think we may stay in Colorado. We'll be in Grand Junction. We're going to hang out in the desert with the kids for the weekend and maybe do some, there's like a mini Grand Canyon there, I hear, at Grand Junction. Never been, so it'll be fun to go see it.
If you're in Grand Junction, you should, are you going to go see our friends?
Well, we just decided, I think that's where we're headed today. So we can definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
I was just there. You guys are going to have a blast.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love it. I've never been in this part of the world, so it's awesome. Awesome.
They're amazing hosts. I don't want to spoil the surprise, so we'll keep that name.
Secret. Only the birds can hear you, Mark. Only the birds can hear you. Rob Hoskin in the house. Good morning, Jennifer, Dave, and Mark. What a way to start a Saturday. Rob, thank you for saying good morning to Jennifer, because she is behind the scenes a lot on these. But you're going to be seeing more of Jennifer coming up. So we got some things that we're working on, and I think Jennifer's probably going to put you and I out of a job. Who knows, Mark? We're going to have to be the backup support for a while.
That's fine. Then you could go hang out with Rob in Pittsburgh, right? And go hang out with your brother at PGH Salvage.
That's it. That's right, Brian. Hey, Rob, go see my brother at Pittsburgh Salvage, PGH Salvage. Got Salvage.
So, they look alike, except Dave is the mayor.
Oh, fish camp, right? Hey, listen, we have a fish camp that's been going on for me 46 years, and for the overall it's over 80 years. They call me the mayor. No, they call me the governor.
Oh, the governor. That's right.
Somehow I went from being the youngest hanging out with my grandfather when I was a kid to now being the oldest surviving member of the camp. I don't know if that's good.
And your son will be the next governor, right? Because of how he ranks with his cousins.
He was born 4 days before my brother's son, so that's right. So my brother's son stays the chef, and my brother does all the cooking, man. He loves to cook. All right. Love it.
Well, thank you for that, Brian, and way to go, Colton.
Oh, look who else we got in the house. Hey, good morning, Miles Biggs. Miles Biggs is out there killing it. Do you see his new show? His new show, right?
I can't believe it, because I really like when he was doing those walks, right?
Yeah.
But the new show is great. It's what happens. You get an idea and you bing, bam, boom, make it happen.
That's right. I love it. Miles is doing wonderful things with his Unseen Work episode. And he talks about all the things that, like what Mark and I do, like all the stuff that has to happen to make a show happen, or all the things somebody has to do to become successful, to grow a business, to build a business. It's not the success that's the reward. It's how much effort goes in behind the scenes that makes that, when you hit that success mark, rewarding. And I think that's Miles is highlighting that, and I think it's a brilliant thing. So rock on, Miles. Miles is now in Pittsburgh, I think, too. I think Miles is moving to Pittsburgh. Let me know if you went to Pittsburgh, Miles. Are you there?
Wow.
That's right. We'll be able to hang out with Miles when our road trip's over. It'll be fun.
I think he'll be writing another book by then, Dave.
He might be. All right, a couple more comments, and we got to get into next week, everybody. We got Brian the Magma. Hey, Brian. Good morning, everyone from Charlotte, North Carolina. Synergy Steel. What's happening, Brian? I don't know if you know it, Brian, but your friends over at Howick are a Wednesday sponsor with us now. So good to see you, Brian. I hope you are well. And all right. See this guy here, Game Stopper, Joe Butler in the house.
Oh, wow. All
Loving
right.
the vibe. What's happening, Mr. Joe? It was awesome having you on the show with Forward Solutions Group, Ben Hershey and Jordy, man. You guys are rocking it, dude. I really appreciate you. And for all of you listening this morning, if you don't know Joe Butler and you want to figure out how to optimize not only your factory, but your life, talk to that guy, dude. He's a wizard, and he doesn't stop, ever. He doesn't
Joe
stop.
Butler is the quarterback with the quarterback's name. Right?
That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, and then here we go. Oh, yeah. And Jennifer gave a shout out to Brian at Salvage Pittsburgh. I got to put that up there. Get yourself some new reclaim, repurposed, recycled, custom made coffee tables for Saturday's Coffee with Dave. Absolutely. All right, Mr. Mark, let's get back into it. So why are we going to Utah? Well, this is going to be a lot of fun this week. For one, we are starting up Monday with the Honorable Richard Evans. If you don't know, Honorable Rich, so his LinkedIn always says Hon.
Hon.
Yep. Richard Evans, right. But it's Honorable Richard Evans, I believe. If you're listening, he's in Barbados right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, man. But here's somebody from England, Mark. He has a ton of following. He's huge on social media. He's huge in the supply chain of materials and what's happening in the world. He's huge in the manufacturing, big believer in offsite. We're going to have a conversation of why the adoption of modern methods of construction are not happening. And you might be surprised that it just might be we can't get out of our own way as individuals, peoples, and businesses. So join us for Monday. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we are off to Thursday, the house that she built. We have, I can't remember, is it 4 or 5, Jen? You're out there. Architects, builders, that have come together, all women, Mark, all women. And this house is getting a ton of press. And we are going to be there with NAHB to celebrate their success in the student chapter. We're going to be live streaming this show with the universities into their classrooms and hopefully teaching and showing and collaborating and conversing with the students on this show. So the house that she built is coming up. And then Friday, Mark, what do we have? BS Friday. Tell us who's coming on. Restoration specialist. Tell us.
We'll have a hard time recovering for Thursday. I think a lot of people are looking forward to that build. And then Friday, we have Mr. WickRight, the masonry magician, Bob Kelly, and he's going to scare the bejesus out of people, Dave. He shows you the effects of trapping moisture in your assemblies, right? Typically from masonry failures, and it scares people, Dave. It scares them.
When I saw it and I reposted it as well, where you said these pictures will scare you. Listen, it's so true, Mark. One thing we have learned this entire year is it may not be allergies, it may not be headaches, it may not be your bones aching, it may be your house. It may just be your house that is causing you all of these issues. And I think this is getting back to, we really need to look at the science. The science is pointing to a lot of our homes, older homes, the ductwork not being cleaned. All of these things are making people sick.
He was in one building and the base in the room was 3 inches above. I love it, Dave. Was 3 inches above the floor, right? So that means your floor dropped 3 inches. And then he's like, "Hey, when was the last time you touched your ceiling?" And the guy goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "We have to move." They walked out of the room and the ceiling fell on the guy's bed. Right? The ceiling fell on the guy's bed. So if that doesn't tell you that how dangerous, right? How scary it could be, just wait. Bob's going to tell you how to make sure that doesn't happen.
You know, this is a show that I think not only our industry needs to hear, but I hopefully we'll get a lot of the consumers out there and a lot of the general public will definitely tune in for this. The reason I showed my coffee, Mark, is I got a Twitch. I think I've been scammed. The title says on Coffee with Dave, but there's no coffee.
Well, there is.
Well, we're drinking coffee. We're sharing it together on Coffee with Dave. I keep having to adjust. That sun's coming up in a big way here.
BlizzXX. I don't know how you say that.
Blizzix. Well, hey, man, listen, I don't know who you are, but thanks for tuning in. Dude, we're having a good time. We're talking about the built environment. We talk about housing on this channel, and we talk about all the cool virtual reality, digital twins, BIM, things that you guys have been doing in the virtual world for a long time are now happening in the built world, and we're excited to have you join us. So thank you.
When people tune in on Twitch, Dave, I want to say, you may know who we are, but we know who you are.
That's right. What movie was that? You may not know me, but I know who you are. You may not know me. You
said it with a little bit more Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to it. So we have Bob Kelly on, restoration specialist, inventor at WickRight Inc. And then moving to the following Monday, we are back with Greg Ugaldi, who is going to give us some updates on what's happening at the highest level at NAHB. And he is going to lead off and kick off what we have coming up on the 18th, which is Rick Murdoch, Autovol, co-founder and CEO. Hopefully, I'm sure we'll get Merrick in here as well. Merrick's been on as well. We are going to be live streaming from the manufacturing floor at Autovol. Now, I know we probably can't show everything, but we're going to show as much as they allow us to show. That's going to be another NAHB student chapter show. So we're really excited to showcase that and show everybody. So I love it. So it's getting packed in, Mark. We're getting weeks and weeks out now with the show and finally starting to build the momentum with this and, putting all the pieces of the pie together. So super excited.
It's a lot to be excited about. The favorite part for me of Autovol, Dave, is the staging area in front.
Yeah.
So where they set up all their deployment, they have everything so dialed in that where they set the units is based on the deployment strategy out front of the factory. Right. So to someone driving by, they just think, well, these are, shrink wrap something or others. But to our industry, it is time, it is quality, it is process, right? It's the caramel of the apple. It's just beautiful things. It's going to be a lot of fun to show this because nobody has shown a whole lot of the inside of this yet. And we're, like I said, we'll show as much as we can. There's still some IP out there that they're working to get approvals on and all that. But, man, it's going to be fun. All right, listen, everybody, that is a wrap. Oh, one more comment from Mr. Mickelberg. I've got a passive house and come on, Henry, an asphalt stainless steel. The aches and pains are definitely due to riding motorcycles bad. Where does this guy come from? Where do you come from, Henry? If that's true, if that's true, Dave, I want a video tour of your passive house with stainless steel, Henry, and I'm going to put it on my Tuesday show. I'll tell you that. If that's true, we're going to put it on our Friday show. And if it's not true, Henry, Dave and I, you might know who we are.
We know
who you are.
That's it. All right, everybody. Listen, thank you for tuning in this morning with Coffee. Dave, Mark, thank you so much for joining us. It's been awesome. And to all you out there, big week coming up this week. We will see you Monday. You don't want to miss Mr. Richard Evans. You don't want to miss it. You think Henry's got a lot of spunk. This is going to be an interesting show. And is that the new T-stud? Is that the new one? Is that the big one? Is that the 8-incher?
It's taking over, Dave.
I see it.
It's taking over.
All right, brother. We'll see you guys. You all have a wonderful day. I'm Dave Cooper. Next week, we'll be coming to you live from Utah. Bye now.